right, welcome back to another episode of Mom Talk. We have a guest on with us today, and if you will say your name for us so that I don't get it wrong.
Hi, so my name is Kseniia.
Kseniia, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so you are an expert in automated software testing. You have a degree in computer science from Polytech University in the Ukraine. Since moving to the United States, you quickly became an industry leader in designing and implementing quality assurance processes for software solutions for the government and commercial projects. You've got years of experience that you bring to your students at the Learnix Center, and you designed the automated testing tools course for the software quality assurance program. And I
Yeah,
just can't wait to hear all about this. That's amazing.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I want to add that on top of all of that, I'm also a proud mom to my sweet little 5-year-old son who
Oh,
just started kindergarten this year. Cannot believe how
yes.
fast they grow.
I know my son just started kindergarten this year too. He's 5. It's like so weird.
It is completely different new stage of my life. Yeah, and I want to say that it brings me so much joy to watch him learn and explore every day, and at the same time balancing this motherhood with my career. I want to say that it's been an incredible journey with all its ups and downs, and um, in my recent years, I found myself showing more and more moms that it's actually totally possible to juggle family life while you build a rewarding career. And I'm talking from a perspective of someone who works in IT. And that is something that I'm really passionate about because I believe that every mom actually deserves a chance to find that balance.
We completely agree. Absolutely. Okay, so can you go ahead and explain to us what the quality assurance testing is?
Oh, absolutely. So, quality assurance or testing or QA is honestly like being the gatekeeper of perfection for software. So, imagine that you're using an app on your phone, on your smartphone, or maybe you're doing, on a website through your laptop, and you browse through the website and you click on buttons and everything is smooth. You click on a button and it works just like you expected. And that's happening because the QA tester, just like me, has made sure that every little detail was checked, tested, and polished before it reaches the end user, yourself. Um, as a tester, we test software to make sure it's not only working, but that it's giving the best possible experience to the user. We catch all those little glitches, bugs that could ruin the user experience, and we make sure that they are fixed before anyone else has found them. So it's all about quality and making sure the product is the best it can be before it goes live and reaches the customer. It's kind of like being a detective and an artist at the same time because you come up with all the different ways how the application or the website can be used. It's very, very artistic job, I would say.
Well, yeah, and we all need this. Like, yeah, this sounds like everyday need. Yes, that we need a QA in our life.
Definitely.
So, how did you get started into the QA?
Oh yeah. So I do have such a special place in my heart for my journey into quality assurance. So as you mentioned at the beginning of the call, I moved to United States in my 20s, and like a lot of people wanted a career that would give me both stability and flexibility. A friend of mine actually recommended this cool school called Learnix Center, which I never heard before. But I was intrigued, so I decided to attend it. They have an open house at the time, and let me tell you, they had a very charming instructor. That those kind of people who are very good in what they do. So when he started explaining what QA is and how easy it is to become a QA, the way how he explained, it just felt like it's so possible, and it's like no, almost anybody can do that. So I kind of bought into that and I decided to try myself. And the program was so accessible. We had two classes per week. It could be like either Tuesday or Thursday, or Tuesday or Wednesday, or Thursday and Friday. And then you can work on you can continue working, but then you attend the classes after work. And after just a few months, we graduated. And within 2 months after my graduation, it took me a little bit, but after 2 months after graduation, I landed my first software testing job. The company that I got my first job offer here in the United States was company UPS. I'm sure everybody knows that, the parcel delivery. Um, Fast forward a few years, and I'm now teaching QA. So I really love sharing the knowledge because I know how life-changing it can be for moms especially. And I want to say that this field can open so many doors. It did for me. I know a lot of cool success stories. And now I want to help more people, especially moms, to show them that they can do it as well.
Well, that's so great. We feel the same way. Like, obviously, being moms, we have full-time jobs, we have part-time jobs. So I think that's amazing that you've worked all the way up to instructor and you're helping other moms like that.
Yeah.
So, what about you being a mom and doing this? How has that influenced your career? How do you work around that?
Yeah. So being a mom has actually completely transformed my approach to work, because actually I did started doing quality assurance before I kind of welcomed my little boy. So I have experience working as a QA before I became a mom and then after. And I can tell you that after I became a mom, it actually did transform the way how I do quality assurance. So I think becoming a mother actually naturally makes you more empathetic, and that definitely comes through how I do my job. I'm always thinking about the user, their frustrations, their needs, how we can make things smoother for them. Plus, motherhood has given me some serious multitasking skills, which, let's be honest, they're so handy in tech. And time management, oh boy, I feel like I become a master of that after having my son. Balancing work, home life, and now teaching means I've learned to maximize every minute, every second of my day. So honestly, being a mom has made me even a better QA tester and instructor because it's given me the ability to juggle a million things at the same time and still find joy in the process.
Hmm. Do you feel like there's a lot of challenges with it too, or you started balancing it all out really well?
Oh, there were definitely challenges. And it became, I want to say at the same time, more and less after I became a mom. Before before having my son, I'm more dedicated. I was more dedicated to my work. And after I had my boy, I was like, okay, I want to be present at home more than I'm present at work. So I started worrying less about work and kind of focusing at my work only during the work hours. I think one of the biggest was learning how to manage my time, and that's what I'm talking about. When you have that little one at home, the days don't really always go as planned. There are nap schedules, feeding times, so many unexpected things that pop up here and there. So early on, I had to figure it out how to set boundaries and create that work schedule that fit around my family life versus having a family life fit around my work. Um, and then, of course, working from home. Sorry, got a call. And of course, working from home um, it was a blessing, but it also meant that I needed to be really disciplined. So I had to learn to say, this is work time and not let distractions to creep in, but also had to give myself grace on days where things didn't go according to plan. So the idea of balance is always evolving, and some days you can lure more into work, and other days it's all about family, and that's okay. And I kind of agreed on that, and that's my life right now.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really good balance going.
I'm trying to do my best.
Okay, so for IT, how do you feel like it is to be a woman in IT?
Oh, absolutely. I love that question. So I want to say that the tech industry is really pushing for diversity and for a good reason. When you have a diverse team to get you really get better products. Women in particular tend to think about the user experience in a way that's different from men. We bring empathy, communication, and user focused mindset that is so valuable when designing software. Plus, companies have realized that having women on their team just makes sense. We are great problem solvers, we collaborate well, and we offer fresh perspectives. And that's definitely a push to bring more women into the field. And that is something that I'm really passionate about helping with. And being a woman in IT can feel like you actually breaking down the barriers every day, but it's also exciting at the same time. When I first started, I definitely noticed that there were not as many women around, and that I could feel intimidating. My second job after I left UPS and I joined a little startup company, which I loved, and they're actually thriving these days. But I was only one woman on the whole floor, so it was. It's sometimes I had a great experience working there, but at the same time, it sometimes felt intimidating. But over time, more and more women have entered the field, and it's wonderful to see. And women being such a valuable perspective to the table. We are often great at communication, problem solving, and those skills are very important in IT. Plus, there is a real sense of community among women in tech, which I absolutely love. They are available, they are easy to find, and they are very supportive, especially when you just start.
So, what would your advice be for moms that would want to work their way into the tech field?
Yeah, so where do I begin? Um, so every mom out there, I want to tell you, I want to talk to you, you can absolutely do this. My biggest advice would be just to go ahead and get started. Don't let that fear or doubt hold you back. Sometimes we convince ourselves that we are not really tech savvy enough, or we think the tech is so hard or intimidating. But IT or QA in particular, it is so accessible. Not a lot of people do realize that, but it is. Um, I would say start with the basics course to get your feet wet, learn how software testing works, and what tools are out there that you will benefit from. The beauty of quality assurance is that it's logical, problem solving role. And guess what? Moms are already really experts at solving problems every single day. I also do recommend finding that community, whether it's the other mom in tech, online forums, or local meetups, because I believe that having support makes the journey so much easier. You're definitely not alone in this, and there's so much opportunity that is waiting for you.
Okay, so what would be your first thing you would tell moms to do if they're re-entering the workforce after a while of being at home, maybe?
Yeah. So let's say if you're feeling hesitant, let me be your cheerleader for this 1 minute. And then it's scary to start something new, especially when you're balancing so much as a mom. But my promise is that you really can do this. Tech might seem intimidating, but it's also one of the most welcoming and flexible fields out there. And the best part is that you don't have to dive in head first. You can take it slow. Start with a basic course, as I said, join the community and just explore. You'll be surprised in how much you already know and how quickly you can pick up new skills. The world of technology is so wide and there is room for everybody, especially moms who bring such unique skills to the table. So, my advice is that don't wait for that perfect time. Start now, take it one step at a time, and your future self will really thank you for that.
So, do you need any type of technical background or a degree? How does that work?
You know, this is actually one of my favorite things to talk about because so many people think that to work in technology, you need to have this super deep technical background. But honestly, you don't. Especially with QA testing, the barrier to entry is so much lower than a lot of people think. If you know how to use a computer, you already have a huge head start. Of course, there is some learning involved, like understanding how software works and what kinds of things to test. But you don't need to be a coding expert or have a degree in computer science to start. And if you do want to learn some technical skills, you can totally build those as you go. I always tell people just start with the basics, learn what testing is about, and grow from there. It's a field that really lets you learn and grow at your own space and your own pace. Um, and it's always excited. And then you don't really need to have any degree to get into QA. You absolutely don't need that degree to become a QA tester. I mean, a lot of people, I know a lot of people, a lot of students at the school don't have any computer science or any sort of shape technical background. And I can see how far they went. It's amazing thing about the QA is that it's open to so many people, even if you don't follow traditional path, going through the university. Um, if you do have a degree, and if it's a technical one, that can definitely give you a little extra advantage, especially if you want to move into more technical roles later. But it's no means a requirement.
Well, that's good to hear because I feel like I'm the least tech savvy person. Like I would need to start at the very, very basics and work my way up. So you're saying that's definitely possible.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so what do you feel the most rewarding thing is in your position now?
Oh, this is such a beautiful question because there's honestly so much to find rewarding about teaching. The most special thing for me is watching my students, especially moms, grow in confidence. That is the moment when they realize, wait, I can do this. And suddenly the world of tech doesn't seem so intimidating. And being a part of something like that and being a part of someone's journey from feeling unsure to landing their job or taking on a big project is just it's magical. I also love how teaching lets me give back. I remember being in their shoes at some point in my past and feeling uncertain about my future. And now I get to help other women feeling, especially mom, and realize their potential. Seeing them succeed, knowing I had a small part in that, is the most rewarding feeling in the world.
That's great. I'm a single mom actually, so I'm always feeling that need to provide more for my kids. So hearing that makes me feel like really reassured that even I could do it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm telling you, a lot of students in our school, they come as one person and they live as a completely different, the most confident people in the world. They say that they are like, I'm right now feel powerful, empowered that I can either support my family or I can get my son or my child into that I don't know, the private school and give them better head start than I had. Or maybe I'm a mom who I recently moved from a completely different country. I'm immigrated to the United States. I don't know how to translate my skills from what I had in my home country and what am I gonna do here, how I'm gonna stay on the same level, financial level as I used to have before. And we transform people's life, and that's one of the best part about teaching.
That's amazing. And okay, so we have a statistic here that QA testing was named the second happiest job in America by Forbes for 3 years in a row. Would you
Oh
say
my gosh, that is totally true. I can see why QA testers are so
are so
happy. I think it's because there's something so deeply satisfying about problem solving. So when you find a bug or an issue in the software and then you help that to get fixed, it feels like you're saving the day. But actually, beyond that, QA offers a ton of flexibility, especially for moms. I've been working from home during the last 7 years, which is just amazing. When you're trying to juggle family life and the career. Plus, you're part of this process that improves the product for real people. You're helping to make this technology easier and better. And then you constantly learn, which is another cool perk. And I love that. The tech world changes so fast. Technology is everywhere these days. So you're always learning something new and it keeps things excited. It's not like you repetitively perform the same task over and over again. You learn something new. Every new feature that you are testing is something that, can get you interested. And then, of course, you collaborate. So this job has it all.
That's cool. So I'm so interested about the mom part of it. Has there been a mom that's really stuck out to you that you've helped work through this program?
Well, yeah, I want to share this one story because this particular one always gives me goosebumps. Again, because it's so inspiring. There's this wonderful mom who immigrated to United States just 2 years ago. She has a twin 7-year-old boys, and back in her home country, she was an accountant. But when she arrived here, things were incredibly tough. She fled her country due to the very terrible situation that's going on there, and she came to United States with basically just two luggages because it was not really a plan for her to immigrate. It was just a measure that she would have to do to give her kids a better life. And on top of that, because she was not planning to immigrate, she didn't speak English very well, and that made everything even more challenging. So she basically wasn't sure what she wanted to continue being an accountant here and how to translate that in United States, especially with the language barrier. So she was exploring new opportunities, and when she came to our place and had a talk with me, she started taking the course online in the evenings with her boys and her by her side at home. So I can only imagine how hard that must have been for her, learning a completely new field in a new language, all while caring for her kids. But she did it, and she did it so well. I actually had a couple of additional conversations with her because she asked me to, especially when she got her first job. She actually found her first job 1 month after she graduated, and it was a cool company. It's actually IT department of Airbus. How amazing is that? Like you end up working for the companies, Airbuses. They build airplanes, right? The commercial airplanes, the military airplanes. Like she would never end up in this industry unless she would take this course because, that is just too much of a coincidence to be there. And she's now a full-time employee. But what's great is that she only goes to the office twice a week. The rest of the time, she gets to work from home, which gives her that flexibility to be with her boys. She's now financially independent, supporting her family completely. She's even saving up for the down payment on a house in DC metro area. And she's so determined. I wouldn't be surprised if she buys that house within the next year or so.
Oh, that's amazing for her. That's a great story.
It is. I agree.
Would you mind giving us just like a little rundown of like what a day looks like for you?
As the software tester, oh yeah. So I'm working from home, right? So I would wake up in the morning. My son's school's bus leaves at 4:30. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, 8:40 in the morning. And my work day starts at 9. So I would drop him at the bus stop, wave goodbye, come back, make a cup of coffee, and start my day with a computer. First, check my emails, see what's going on in the company level. At 10 a.m., I have a daily stand-up meeting where my team, like a developers, project manager, product owners, they would stand up. We would talk about what we have done yesterday, what are the plans for today, what are the blockers and impediments that you have, who you're working with, stuff like that. So we would go around the room. Everybody would tell their status update. And then after the call, you would come back to whatever you've been doing. So as a QA, I would come back to my test cases, which is like little test scenarios where I would write how I will verify the functionality of the application. I would either create new test cases, or if I created those new test cases day before, I would run them and verify that my application works. If I find any bugs or any issues or any questions, I can reach out to the developers or other testers on my team through the messenger on my computer. and then would try to resolve that. If I need to clarify something, I can set up a session with anybody on our team who have the knowledge on that feature, and then we would discuss that. And then it just continues basically by creating test cases and running them and collaborating the findings with the developers. But every time it's a new feature, new functionality. So every time it's something new.
Amazing. And then are you typically free to get your son back off the bus, or do you work a little bit longer into your day?
No, so my son's bus comes at 4:15, and usually that's the time when I'm stop working. If there is anything else that needs to be done, like in preparation for the next day, I would get my son and I would cook him dinner and then, or give him a snack and then finish up my, last touches for what I've done today. Maybe it's going to be a sending email or scheduling a session for the next day. Then I would do that. It's rarely when I need to work after hours. Sometimes that happens when we have like a big release and there is more QA involvement that is required. Then I would stay late and I would do the extra work after that. But that doesn't happen even weekly, like not on a daily basis at all.
That seems like such an amazing schedule, especially for a mom who's trying to balance everything.
Yeah, and then, if you need to step out during the day to take your child or yourself to the medical appointment or to run some errands that needs to be happening during the business hours, like my job and my particular company is very flexible on that matter. I need to, as long as I'm joining the necessary meetings, um, I can do all my work, during the time that works for me. So I can step out during the day, attend and run some errands, and then come back and finish my work in a later time. So as long as I meet the goals and do the work in a timely manner, that's what matters. And then joining the stand-ups or any necessary other calls.
Oh, yes. I mean, we love that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, we're taking all the notes from you today.
That's awesome.
Okay, what is one thing you wish people knew about having a career in QA?
Oh yeah. I wish I could shout out this from the rooftops. I would. Um, QA isn't just about finding bugs. It is so much more than that. So quality assurance is about making products better, improving the user experience, being part of a team that values an input. People often think that technology is just for coders, but there's such a huge space and so much more in QA for people who are logical thinking, problem solvers, and detail oriented. You don't have to be a programmer to be in technology. And for moms, especially, it's such a flexible and rewarding field. I wish more people knew how accessible quality assurance is and how it can be a gateway into so many other exciting areas of technology.
Well, I think that is, we're going to even look more into this. So my last question is, how can people get in touch directly with you? Is it through your company if they have questions, if they want to get started doing something like this?
Yeah, probably not directly to me, but we have a website, the learnixcenter.com, where anybody can fill out the form, a contact us form. You would provide your email address or your phone number and what specifically you interested in, because QA is not the only course that the school provides, but it's the best one. So just provide your contact information and somebody from the school will reach out to you. And if you want to get in touch directly with me, the LinkedIn profile, I can leave that with you guys, and anybody can just send me a message there, and I'll be happy to share my story more or answer any questions, and maybe, help a mom or two to change their life for a better.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have to post that because you can tell how passionate you are about it, how much you love it, and how much you love helping other people get into it.
Yeah, I'm glad I sound like that, because that's exactly right.
You definitely do. Well, this has been so great. Thank you so much for doing this
Yes,
with
thank
us.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. I really enjoyed sharing my journey with you all. And I really hope this inspires other moms to know that you can have both a fulfilling career and this beautiful family life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much and have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, ladies. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.